Okay.
Yes, ma'am. So I have a doubt in question 7.
So this is
And
the test, right? Qualifier 1.
yes, ma'am.
Actually, we will not discuss this because the quiz is going on, right?
Sorry, ma'am. I didn't get you.
As the quiz is going on, we'll not be able to discuss this, dear.
Oh, ma'am, you mean the timer has gone off?
No. The exam is going on, right? The others will also be writing the exam, na?
But right now, ma'am, it's going on.
Is it?
No, ma'am. The quiz 1 exam is on 23rd and quiz 2 is on 16th March.
Okay. And this one is of, is it, it's okay, it's a practice one.
Practice, ma'am. It's practice.
Okay.
It's 2022 October, I think so.
Oh, okay.
Yes, ma'am. I got it online. There's a website online that you can access.
Okay.
So I was just doing those questions and I have a few doubts from those practice questions.
Okay. So after discussing few questions from this practice, we'll go ahead with that. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah.
Ma'am, actually, I have a doubt. Ma'am, in the lecture, week 3, lecture 3.8, pseudocode from for three places problems. Ma'am, in that we have a pseudocode in which we have to like arrange three. We need to get cards of maximum, second maximum, and the third maximum.
Okay.
Ma'am, in that, ma'am, it's a lecture actually.
Oh, okay.
Yes, ma'am. In that, ma'am, the pseudocode, I'm not able to understand. Ma'am, just
Yes.
ma'am, in that lecture, in the procedure, top three marks, subject marks.
This one, right?
Ma'am, after that, actually, 8.8 to 32. 8 minutes 32 seconds.
8 minutes 32.
यार हल्ले दिखन ਇੱਥੇ अटके हुए हैं मैथ्स वाला तो बड़ा तेजी ना काम करते चौथा हफ्ता शुरू
Yes,
करते
ma'am, this
तीजा
one.
खत्म नहीं हो रहा
And
इसका
ma'am, this one, I am able to understand the while
पता
loop
ਕੀ
and
ਕਰਦਾ
everything.
ਇੱਥੇ ਤਾਂ
But after
टीचर
that,
ਹੈ
the
ਕੁੜੀਆਂ
if
ਕੁੜੀਆਂ
and
Yeah,
the
Ashika,
other
1 minute.
मतलब ਬੱਚੇ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਮੈਮ ਇਹ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਆਲਰੇਡੀ
Arshdeep,
ਸਮਝਾਇਆ ਫੇਰ ਵੀ ਸਮਝਾਉਂਦੇ ਉਹ
Arshdeep Singh, could you please mute yourself? Yes, Ashika, please tell me now.
ma'am, in the others, ma'am, if in the while loop we are able to get all the cards, three cards, maximum, second maximum, and the third maximum, then ma'am, why is the need of other ifs here?
So, you are telling that you have doubt in these cases, right?
Yes, ma'am. Why we have to write the other two ifs if we are getting second maximum and the third maximum in the while loop only?
I think it is just the values we are reassigning and then we are checking whether it is right or wrong using these if conditions. Let's take an example as I'm giving the mark as 95 initially. Okay, so what I'll try to do, let's say that is the highest mark. After that, the students' mark are like 48, 12, 67, like, and let me give 92 also. Okay, so here, first, when I'm checking with the subject, what is the subject mark? X dot subject, which is 95. What is the max mark? Max is 0, right? Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Okay, so now I'm taking that third maximum is equal to, yes. So third maximum value, I'm just assigning with the max. What is the maximum so far? It's 0. And the second maximum is the maximum which I have taken now, which is 0 again. So what is the max mark now? 95. Why we are doing these steps is, let's say next step I'm getting a 98. So now, what will be the second maximum mark? What is the maximum mark so far now?
95.
Okay, so now this has to be the second maximum, right? Because this 98 is greater than 95. So now this should move to the second maximum, and the second maximum mark has to be moved to the third maximum. Fine. This is what we are doing in these cases. Then we huh? Okay. So then these cases are like, let's say the second maximum is, let's say maximum is 98, and in case the marks which I'm taking is 48. So it will check 95 is the maximum so far, and that is the maximum. The previous mark is, let's take 12 here, and the subject is 48. Is this order is right? Maximum is greater than the x subject, and x subject is greater than second max. Now tell me which has to be the second maximum now?
Second maximum, it
Let's
needs
say,
to be
1 minute, I'll just give you a better example again. So let's say now I'm taking this 95. After which, instead of 48, let's say I'm taking 12 as the next value and 48 as its next value. Now, what is the, okay, we have checked with this. So this is what I have assigned as 0, 0 and 95 values, right? So next step, I'm taking the value as 12. Now, I'll check whether 12 is greater than 95.
okay. Yes, ma'am.
Is 12 is greater than 95?
No,
No. So it has to come and check with the second condition. That is, what is the maximum mark? 90?
55.
Okay. So then what I'm trying to do, I'm checking this mark as 12, which is greater than. What is the second maximum we have stored so far?
12.
Uh-huh.
Second maximum score till now because the data is already proceeded to 12. So second is 12 and third
Okay.
maximum
So
0.
now third maximum has to be second maximum, which is nothing but 0. And second maximum has to be the present mark subject as 12.
12.
Okay. So now this is done. So next time what I'll try to do, I'm taking the next element as 48. Okay. So when I'm taking 48, what is the maximum mark actually?
95.
95.
Yes. Maximum is 95. And what is the second maximum?
48
Sec-
is going to be the second maximum.
Actually 48 has to be the second maximum. But so far second maximum is 12.
12.
And the third maximum is 0.
0.
So now I have taken 48. I'll check whether 48 is greater than the 95. Is it so?
No. No.
No. So what I need to do, I have to go ahead with the next step. That is, max is 95, which is greater than the subject 48, which is greater than the 12. Is this condition is true?
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
now what has to be the third maximum?
12 is the third.
12.
Yeah, whatever is the second maximum so far has to be shifted to third maximum. And how about second maximum?
48.
48
The
now.
present element. So can you understand, by this way we are checking what is the maximum, based on that we are shifting it. But these cases are for fixing the what if the value is lesser than max. So for that only we are writing these two cases. Is that clear?
Ma'am, if we don't write the other two ifs, will it be okay for the code to execute like that?
Okay, now tell me, I have given 95, 12, 48. So imagine that the second cases were not given. So now what would be the case? So let's say initially the what is the maximum value?
95.
No, initially maximum is
Zero.
0, second maximum is 0, third maximum is 0. And I'm taking the value 95 here. Is 95 greater than 12?
No.
Yes, ma'am.
Sorry, 0, right? Okay. Is 95 greater than 0?
No, ma'am.
How it is no?
Yes,
95,
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
the condition is true. So now what has to be the third maximum has to be the second maximum. What is the second maximum value?
It's
0.
0.
What is the second maximum? Which has to be the present maximum, nothing but 0. What has to be the maximum value?
It's
95.
95.
Current subject is 95.
हाँ
Now,
सारे
let's
नीचे
I'm taking the next value as
वाईफाई बजट ले लूंगा
Dinesh, could you please mute yourself? Okay. So the next value I'm taking is 12. Now tell me, is 12 is greater than 95?
No.
No,
Uh,
ma'am.
It's less
okay.
than.
So we haven't given these two ifs. So far, nothing gets changed. Still, the third maximum is 0, second maximum is 0. Next element I'm taking is 48. Is 48 is greater than 95?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Next is, I'm taking 67. Is 67 greater than 95?
No, ma'am.
No again. Next I'm taking 92. Is 92 greater than 95?
No.
Again, no. So initially, let's say next element is 98. So far, did we update any third maximum or second maximum?
Not yet.
But so far, within these three elements, which is the first maximum? 95 is the first maximum. Second maximum has to be 48. And the third maximum has to be 12. Right?
Yes, ma'am.
So when I'm considering the fourth element also inside this, now which has to be the maximum? 95.
95.
Second maximum has to be?
67.
Yeah. Third maximum has to be 48.
48.
Then later, when I'm considering these five elements, it has to keep changing, right? So whenever I'm picking one element, one maximum will be there, second maximum and third maximum will be there. When I'm picking two elements, one is maximum, other is second maximum. When I'm picking three elements, maximum, second maximum, third maximum elements will be there. When I'm picking four, so every time it gets changes, right? But
Yes,
in
ma'am.
this case, if I didn't write these two ifs, what is happening?
Ma'am, I don't think there will be any change. The elements are as it is, and we are only executing the while loop for the time, and it's perfectly fine. We are getting all the three values: maximum, second
Um,
maximum, and third
oh,
maximum.
okay. Anyway, we are executing while loop. That's why I'm picking all the elements. That is first thing. Second thing, I have to compare and I need to fix, right? If I pick four balls, out of four balls, there has to be one top element, one second top, and third top, and next has to be the fourth element. But in this case, if I didn't take these ifs, what is happening? I'm getting only the maximum so far. I'm
Yes,
not
ma'am.
getting the second or third maximums.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am. So it means they are not storing the value for second and third maximum.
Exactly, because initially, what is the value it is done? 0 and 0, only that is taken. Have I updated after that?
No.
Because
Okay.
this condition never gets satisfied if the values after that are all lesser than the given value.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am. Got
Ma'am,
it. Got the
if
point.
It is one
statement
of
can be
the
used
edge case,
multiple
dear.
times.
Okay, and ma'am, I have one more doubt.
Yes,
Is
please.
pseudocode same as algorithms?
Huh,
Is that
yes,
the
it's
same
like
as
before writing an algorithm, we are just giving it like uh, a preview, you can say. Like it's like how to write that algorithm. For that, we are using this pseudocode.
And ma'am, is it necessary to like give some indentation to the code? Like,
Actually, when you're writing a pseudocode, you don't give indentation. Like indentation is not mandatory. Just make sure where the if starts and where it ends. You have to make sure that, and where the procedure starts and where it ends. And the looping has to be closed properly.
so it's just the importance of curly braces and not the indentation here.
Huh.
Okay, okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah.
Ma'am, the pseudocode is a running code or it is a only for understanding basis?
I didn't get you.
Ma'am, my means to say that thus is pseudocode the running code that we use in coding, or it is a learning purpose? It's for only learning purpose.
It's like, let's say, if I'm writing the pseudocode, I'll get an idea like how to build a algorithm or how to write the procedures. I mean, how to write the program. For that only, we are using the pseudocodes.
Okay. Ma'am, I have two more doubts. Ma'am, in
Huh.
3.7 activity, the first question is my doubt.
Which one, ma?
Activity 3.7, week 3,
Okay.
question 1.
If the student has topped the class in terms of a total marks obtained, which of the following statement is true?
Ma'am, so I select the second option. The student has certainly topped in at least one subject.
Your voice is too low. Could you please speak a bit louder?
Ma'am, I select the option second. The student had certainly topped in at least one.
Okay.
So can you explain me? But when I checked the answers, it said the option fourth is the correct answer. Ma'am, why? I don't understand that.
The student has topped the class terms in terms of total marks obtained. Okay, so you are saying that there can be a possibility that the topper person can like score the top mark in any of the one subjects, or it can be more than that. That's your option, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And third option is correct, not fourth.
May not have topped. So you're saying the person may not top also.
But ma'am, the question is saying he or she has topped with the total marks obtained.
Mm.
Ma'am, when I saw the lecture in that sir said that if the student got total marks and he got first or second, at least he got top in one subject. That is what the lecture.
I didn't get you. Could you please repeat? Yes, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Hello, ma'am. Hello.
Yes.
Now I'm audible, ma'am.
Yeah, now
Ma'am.
you're audible.
So ma'am, I was saying that when I saw the lecture in that sir told that if a student got top in class with the total marks obtained, so in that case the student have at least topped in one subject. So that's the sir's answer. And in this, when I checked the answer of the assignment, it said that the student had certainly topped in third option. The student may not have topped in any subject. And why? I'm asking that only. Why we can't select the second option?
Okay, they haven't given any data set or anything to check also, right? If a student has stopped in according to the total marks obtained, which of the following can be the true statement, right? So the student may or may not have topped. So that can be the reason. Anyway, I'll check and then I'll let you know. By the
Okay.
end of the session, I'll tell you why this option C is correct, okay?
Okay, ma'am, another question. Activity 3.8,
Mm-hmm.
question number 4 and 5.
1 minute, it's just loading. Fourth and fifth, okay.
Ma'am, in this, it said that it is Boolean type. Ma'am, why it is a Boolean type?
Okay, so they are saying that in the session discussed like three prices lecture, what data type was the value written, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So could you please see here at 1618? So if the student has stopped, they are checking the catch mark is greater than the max mark. If any of these is true, it is returning as true.
So, ma'am, we have to check it from the lecture.
Yes, they have mentioned
Thank
it,
you.
right?
Okay, I didn't get that point.
See, as discussed in the lecture, what is the basic data? What is the basic return type of the value in that procedure returns?
Okay, I missed that. Sorry.
Okay.
my last question, the fifth one, arbitrary for some arbiter. So it's the same. Oh, it's the same. Yes, ma'am. It's the same. Sorry. Now I don't have a doubt.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah.
Ma'am, I have a doubt. Activity 3.4, question number 4.
3 point.
3.5, question number 4. 3.5.
Okay. Let us clone the scores dataset and modify it in the following way. For every chord in the clone dataset, we replace the max mark by 100 minus the current mark. That is, we take the max mark in the card, subtract it from 100, and then replace the max mark in the card with this new number. Okay. So we refer to the max marks in the clone set as max minus clone. Okay, so actually what they are saying is, let's say the value is 67. So what they did initially is, they are just taking the mark as 67 and they are subtracting it from 100. So what is 100 minus 67?
30.
33, right? So this is replaced in the new card. So now what they are saying is, we refer to the max mark in the clone data set as max minus clone. Then replace the max mark in this card with this new number. So 33 is replaced. Now we have to do a max mark. What is their max mark? 67 minus cloned mark.
So 33 is a clone marks.
Yeah, because see here, we replace the max mark by 100 minus the current max mark in the cloned data set. So now the cloned data set will contain 33 as the value, and the general like the scores data set will contain 67 as the max mark. So now we refer to the max mark in the cloned data set as max minus clone. So now consider the following code. If this is executed, what is the variable max code? Okay, which means this 33 is considered as clone, max minus cloned mark. Okay, max minus cloned. So now out of this, I have to take the maximum value, which means the student has to score the minimum value in the actual data set. See, let's say the student has scored 98 in the actual data set. What will be his value in the cloned data set? It's 100 minus 98, which is nothing but?
It's
2.
2.
Yes. So now let's say in the actual max data set, scores data set, the student has scored only 36. Now what will be his cloned value in cloned data set?
64.
64.
Yes, it's 64. So can you see now, when he has scored the highest mark in the actual data set, his mark is less. If he has scored the lesser mark, his score is higher, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes. So what will be stored in the max?
Last option, it would be last maximum marks in the original data set.
Here what we need to find, max or min?
The max marks is storing 100 minus max clone.
Haha, this max minus clone is referred as cloned dataset. We refer the max mark in the cloned dataset as max minus clone. So this is the maximum max mark. What is the maximum so far we have got? First data is 33, next is 2 and next is 64. Out of these three, which is the maximum mark?
64.
Yes. So the 64 is what in max clone? Which means what is the value in the actual dataset?
36.
Yes. In actual dataset, his value is 36. In case of cloned dataset, his value is 64. Now what they have mentioned is max is equal to this 100 minus 64. What is the 100 minus 64?
No. Clone data.
What? which is nothing but 36, right? Which means
Yes.
what is the value stored here? The minimum of all in the original data set, right?
Okay. Thank you.
Can you see? Minimum max stored in the original data set. People, did you understand this question or do you want me to repeat?
Yes, ma'am, understand. Ma'am,
Mm.
where can we able to see the activity question solution, video solution?
There is no solution like that. You can just check answers and you can find the answers. That's it. Okay. Now moving to this graded question. This active practice assessment question. So I think on Saturday session only 10 questions were discussed, right?
Ma'am, the PYQ doubts will do after this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So now in this question, I think only till 10 it's discussed, right? Okay. So I'll start from the 11th question. Okay. So what they have mentioned is we have to take the scores data set. So in scores data set, let min total stores the minimum total marks obtained by any student. Okay, then what will be the value of flag at the end of the execution is the question. Okay, which means min total is the total minimum value. Right? So here what is given is what is the A value stored?
Stores in the minimum what will be the value of flag B at the end of the execution?
Your voice is too low. Could you please speak a bit louder?
Equals to Ethan, and the following pseudocode is executed using the scores data set. Let minimum total marks stores the minimum total marks obtained by.
Even of course they are very question Oh,
Others, could you please mute yourself? I'm unable to hear you. Yes, Mohit? Did you say something? Sanjeev? Alpha is... Alright. Yeah, now tell me, Ma. Okay. So moving to this step. So here it is given as A is equal to 101, B is 101, C 101, and D is initialized with 101. So after that, what they are trying to do? What is the value of flag initially?
False.
Flag is initialized with false. Then they are taking the cards from the pile. Then we have to read the top card. And what is assigned to A, B, and C later? They are taking the X value. So X is nothing but the current card. And they are taking A, B, C, which means 101, 101, and 101 are taken to the next step. So which means it has to do this procedure. What is given in this do something procedure?
It is given that if match
Can anyone
marks
tell me that?
Less marks in subject.
Yes. Initially, let's say the person has scored 67. So what happens? 67 is less than 101. So what is the present A mark?
67.
Yes.
You said
And let's say B is, we have got it as 52. Now,
52 is the present.
yes. Let's say the next C value is 60. Then, what is stored in C?
60.
Yes. Have we changed the D value so far?
No.
No. D is still 101. Then, let's say I'm taking the next card. Next card value is 48, 90, and then 80. Now tell me what is the A value?
48.
Yes, A remains the same because here what is the procedure given? Max mark. Max mark is 48. Is 48 is less than 67?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, the condition is true. So A becomes 48. How about B value?
It's same. 52.
Yes,
90.
because 90 is less than the 52 it will check. Is the condition is true?
No.
No. So the B remains the same as 52. And next is C. So what is the C value?
Also same.
Because the current value is 80. Is 80 is less than 60? No.
No.
So the C value remains the same as 60.
60.
Okay. Let's say the next term I'm giving the elements is 42, 44, and then 62. Now, what is the A, B, and C values?
42A.
Why 42? Why the A becomes 42 here?
Ma'am, because
It's less than 48.
48 is
Exactly.
greater than
48 is, we'll check that. 42 is less than 48. Is the condition is true?
true. Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So A has to be reinitialized with 42. Then what is the B value?
44 because 44 is smaller than 52.
Yes, 44 is less than 52. The condition is true. So B is replaced with 44. Next 62.
Remains same.
62 is less than 60?
No.
Huh?
No.
No. So will the C value gets updated?
No, it's not.
Okay. Okay. So these are the given inputs. Now let's say this is the end of the data set. After doing this process, I'm taking the card to the next pen and I did all these processes. Now what has to be the D value?
The sum of all these.
Summation of minimum 3.
Yes. So what has to be the D then? It has to be like 42
146.
plus 44 plus 60.
146.
42 plus 44 is 86. 86 plus 60 will get it as 146. Okay. Now coming to the data set, what are the values I have taken so far?
And what?
What are the values I have taken from the user so far?
42, 44, 60.
No, previous values.
Previous value. It's
44.
101.
Okay, let it be. I have taken 90, 80, and 48 as one set of values. And this is the third set. And initial set of values are, let's say it's 52. And here, let's say I have taken as 60. And in this case, I have taken the value as 64, if I'm not wrong. Okay. So now, what are the values I have taken? This is the first set of values. And this is my second set of values. And this is the third set of values. Now, what is the average? What is the total value of this? That is 64 plus 52 plus 60. I'm getting the value as 176. And next is 42 plus 44 plus 62. I have got it as 148. What is the total value here? It's 42 plus 44, 86 plus 60. I'll get it as 146. Okay, and here we have got it as 48 plus 90, 138 plus 80. We'll get it as 218. Okay, done. Now what I need to do, which is the minimum total?
146.
146.
Yes, because, hold on.
148.
Actually, minimum total is 176, 218, 148. Out of which is the minimum?
148.
148 is the minimum value. Now I have to subtract it with the value of 146, which is none other than D value. D is updated with 146. So what is the difference we have got?
2.
Positive, greater than 0.
2.
Yes, 2 which is greater than 0. So we are turning the flag to be of true.
True.
So it's no need to be the value has to be true. So minimum total is like it can be from any person, and we are just checking the values. So by this way we are getting the value as true. Okay, similarly here we need to check with the scores data set.
Ma'am,
Yeah,
I solved with the score data set, and then minimum total is 173, and the less marks in mathematics is 42, physics is 45, and chemistry is 43.
Mm-mm.
So I check the data, then I find this.
Okay, anyway you're getting
This
true
way
as the
also
answer, right?
Yeah, true is the answer.
See, we have got the true as the answer. So this is how you have to check with the scores data set. I have just taken some random values and we have checked here. But the same has to be done with the scores data set, and then we have to come to that conclusion. But even I am sure that one person who has got scored in less in physics has this is not the same person who has scored less in chemistry also. For example.
Yes.
So it can be of different persons, right? So that person will not be a minimum total value guy. So based on that, you have to check. So here we have got the value as true. Is it clear to you all?
Yes. Yes.
Or do you want me to explain it with the data set?
No, ma'am. It's okay.
Is it clear to you all people?
Means, ma'am, I'm sharing data set.
Mm-mm.
So I found out when I checked the data set, then I found out the minimum total is 173.
Okay. Yeah, you
Card
said
number
just
3.
now, right?
But it
Card
doesn't
number
really
3.
matter. The answer will be true or false. Boolean's answer.
Yeah, I think this person has got 173.
This is minimum total.
Yes. So
And can you also
similarly, we
write
can
the
calculate the
minimum?
minimum physics and minimum max marks as well.
Yeah,
So,
I also calculate. Can you write, ma'am? I calculate.
yeah, okay. Let's say
Math,
physics is okay,
physics
max.
45, math 42,
Okay, max 42. Physics.
45,
Okay.
chemistry 43.
Okay. We'll check with this as well. Is that fine?
Yeah, I check. Then also true.
The total is 130, right? Hannah?
Yeah.
So it's like 173 minus 130. So we'll get the value which is positive. Is that you are trying to say, right? Am I audible, people?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So similarly, initially I'm taking max markers 68, 64 and 78. So we'll be keep checking the values. 62. So this has to be updated. So by this way, you can check with all the values, people. So here I'm getting the value is 62. And the next is 45. So physics has to be secured with 45, which is the minimum of all as well. And then 91. So we no need to change. So then we'll go ahead with the next elements. If it is lesser, we'll keep changing. Okay, so here the chemistry mark becomes 77. And here it becomes 54. So by this way, you have to do it, people. So previously I have taken some random elements. Here, if you take a scores data set, you need to calculate in such a way. Okay, and then you can just score the, you can just take a one more variable minimum total and you can keep adding it as well. Keep checking and you can add it as well. Is this thing clear, people? To everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay, so now here comes the next question. Okay, what is given in this question, people? Is anyone?
I haven't done it, so I can't tell it. Ma'am, so it is using the female math average math marks
Okay,
and it is comparing with the male math marks
okay,
so that we can get the minimum math marks of the male student from
okay.
the average of the female student.
Yes.
But the pseudocode have mistaken.
Exactly, but there is a mistake in this pseudocode and we need to find which line the error is.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let me just refresh this page. Yes. So these are the lines given as line 4, line 11, 17, 18, 21, or no error is also a possibility. Okay, and it's a multiple select question. So there can be error in more than one lines or there can be no error also. So what is given here? There is a count m, which is to store the number of male students. Okay,
Yes.
and then so let's say count m contains the number of male students who has scored more, whose max marks are less than the average of female max mark.
Maths marks.
Okay, so they are lesser than that. So what are the things we need to find here? First, we need to count the number of female, right? So after counting, what to be done?
We'll calculate the average.
First, we have to sum as well.
Sorry.
Yeah, after sum of all female students mark, we have to find the average using these two. That is sum by count. So
Yes.
after getting this, what has to be done? We have got the average female max mark students.
We'll
Then,
compare the male math marks.
then we have to take gender. That is, the gender has to be a male. Then we have to check his max mark, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Only if it is male, we have to check with the max mark. If it
Max
is female, we have to ignore it.
ignore that.
So these are the steps to be followed. Is this clear, people?
Yes.
Great. So now we have to check what is the error in this pseudocode. So they have initialized two values. One is sum and the other is count. They have initialized both the values with 0. So that line is perfect. So then they are taking the elements from the cards. As usual, they are reading the card and then they are taking, they are calling this add marks procedure. So what is given in the add marks procedure? They are checking the female gender. If the gender is female, what they are doing? They are just adding up the max mark and then they are adding its count. And what are the stuffs they are returning?
They are returning average total marks.
Yes, they are just returning the sum and the count so far. So what are the lines it's mentioned in this options? Line 4. Is line 4 containing any error? No. Actually, we can store it as a array also. So line 4 does not contain any error. Line 21 also just now we have checked, right? Returning the value. That is also not an error. So there can be an error in 11, 17 or 18 or there can be no error. Okay. So what has to be done then?
11 is perfect, ma'am. So it is.
How 11 is perfect?
Ma'am,
Okay.
because X mathematic marks is less than average total. But it's
Okay.
not saying that the
So one
female.
condition is checked whether their max mark is less than the average mark is checked.
Yes.
How about the gender checking? Whether they check the gender as male or not?
That's a point to note.
Is it?
No.
Actually, what it will lead to if I didn't check the gender as male?
It lead to give the value of female also.
Exactly. The female students who have scored less than average will also be counted in this. Got
You
it?
have to separate the male and female first. And
Yes. So the male condition is not given. 11, 17, line 17 is checked. Yeah, that is perfect because we need female students. 18 is check adding their marks. That is also correct. So there is an error in 11th line.
yes, ma'am, 11th is there.
This condition should also include. Okay, one condition is correct. We need to include one more condition for checking the gender as male. If that is included, then it is perfect. Otherwise, we have to mark the option as line number 11. Can you see line number 11 is an error?
Yes.
Is it clear, people?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
To everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Great. Okay, do you have any doubt in this practice assessment?
Ma'am, I have a doubt in little graded assignment first question. I have to understand what the question saying,
Which
not the
one?
answer. Graded assignment last.
I think the release date is not.
No, I don't want the answer. I want to understand the question, first question. Ma'am, what is the line 4 saying in this code?
You have to check for the letter count.
Ma'am, what the mean of this percent and 2?
Okay. You know modulo? Reminder?
No, ma'am, no.
Okay. I'll tell you what this reminder is. Let's take a value as 5. And I'm giving us modulo 2, which means I have to divide the value by 5. So what will be the reminder here?
1.
Huh? Okay.
1.
So I'll get the quotient as 2 and the remainder is 1. So here the remainder value is 1. Let's say I'm taking the value as 59 mod 12. Now tell me what is the remainder?
11.
Yes, because it has to be either 48 or else it has to be 60. If it is in between, I'm getting the value as 11.
11.
Then, so that is how the remainder works. So percentile in the sense of it shows the remainder of what value we are getting. So generally the reminders lie between 0 to n minus 1. If the n value is 15, so the remainder can be from 0 to 14. That can be the remainder values.
Okay.
Got it?
Okay.
If I am giving the value as 50 and I am giving modulo 12, what will be the value?
2.
Yes, how it is 2?
And the remainder is 2. So
Exactly, because for 12 is 2, it's 48. So 48 minus 50 will get it as 2. Okay, so this is how you have to find the reminders. It's for reminder purpose.
okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. And at this, do you have any doubts so far?
Hello,
Yes.
ma'am. I have doubt in activity questions.
Which question?
Activity 3.3, question number 3.
Question activity 3.3, right? Okay.
Yes, third question.
Okay, if third question, fine. So in lecture, you might have listened that they have taken us, one is for the short, sorry, it's for low and high frequencies, right?
Yes.
Okay, let's say I'm taking the high frequency values and this is for short. Okay, let me just draw it little side. Okay, let's say this is short and let's say this side is of long and here let's say it's of low and let's say here I'm taking as high. So what is low short value? Low frequency and short value count. 18.
18.
What is low frequency and long value?
2.
2. And what is high frequency with short value?
60.
What is high frequency with long value?
20.
20. So if I want the high frequency thesis, so what I need to do? What is high frequency short and long? 60 plus 20, right?
Yeah. We'll
Out of which I have to take the high frequency that are short. What is high frequency short value? 60,
60.
which is nothing but 60 by 80. What is 60 by 80?
It's
Which is 75%, which means 0.75 will get none other than 75 percentage, as they have answered asked in percentage.
yes.
Is this clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Similar with the fourth question also. It is also similar to this.
Yeah, it is similar.
Got it, people?
Got ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
Mm-mm. Did you understand this fourth one also, or you want me to explain?
No. Yes, ma'am. We have done it.
Please repeat.
Ma'am, no, we don't want the explanation.
Okay. All right, people. Any doubt in activity questions? Huh? Yes, Sriram?
Hello.
Yes.
Ma'am, I have another doubt in activity question 3.8,
3.8, okay.
question number 5. Yes.
What would be the written values when read from top to bottom? Okay. So now, if you check this lecture, 1 minute. Yeah, this is the pseudocode, right?
Hmm.
Yes, subject topper 1, right? Yeah, okay, it's the same. Okay, so what is given here? The value which we are taking has to be greater than the max mark, or it has to be greater than the physics mark, or it has to be greater than the chemistry mark. In the first case, what is happening? Yes. Can you hear me, people?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm trying to switch the tab. Why it is not working? Okay, what is the value we have got here? 0, 0, and 0. But according to this, we have to check if it is any one value is greater than the present given, like previously given value. I'll just take the initialized values as well. I think it is around 15. So here, what are we trying to do? We have to find the subject's topper. So we have to just find the highest values in each, right? Like, let's say the present card mark is greater than the previously stored max mark. If yes, or else any of these three condition has to be true. But according to the question, we have got the values as 0, 0, and 0. Will that give you a true value then?
Yes, ma'am. It will.
Because the value cannot be greater, right? So that is how they are checking and they are giving the values in this case. Okay, and the next values are x 100 0 1 0. Did you get the idea then?
Yes, ma'am, it is true.
Yes. So
Ma'am,
at least one
why
condition.
it is true?
Yes, what happened?
Ma'am, why it is true?
Because the value has to be either greater or equal to 0, right? That is what given in this lecture. Can you see here? One minute.
Okay.
We have to compare. So in this case, they're just taking the marks. So either it has to be greater or it has to be equal to that value. Greater than or equal to the max mark. Okay. If any of the condition is true, we'll get it as 0. So it has to be either greater or 0 also. I mean equal to also. Is that clear, people?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And others? Any other doubts in activity questions?
No, ma'am, no.
Great. Yes, ma'am. Did you say what question you have a doubt?
Yes, ma'am. I have a few, like 3-4 doubts. In first, doubt is in question 7.
This question, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. What happened?
Now I understood the question. I just didn't know the difference between the third and fourth option. Like I don't know if it's number of students or pair of students.
Okay. So let's take this course data set then for better understanding. Is it visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So now what I need to do is first I'm taking the values of scores. What is the initial count value in this case?
0.
Yes. Initially the count value is taken as 0. Then they are taking the values. And what is the flag value?
Initially it's true.
So you can see that it gets reinitialized within this loop. Isn't it?
Yes. Yes. Okay.
Okay. And next is we have to take, already we have taken one card and we have moved to the second table, which means, let's say I'm taking the mark as 68. So this 68 is taken from that and
Yes.
I have moved to the other one. Now I have to find whether the x, which means the 68 is equal to any of the other marks scored by the other people. Which means
Yes, ma'am.
from 2, I need to start to check whether anybody has scored 68. It's 62, 57, 42. Let me just take this example here. Yeah, this would be easy then. So is there anybody who has scored 68 then?
I don't think so, ma'am.
Nobody has scored 68. So what will happen then? So will the only if they are equal, the flag becomes false. Otherwise, the flag is true, which means there is a distinct value, right? 60
Yes,
is
ma'am.
a unique element. So now the count is incremented to 1. And what is the flag value now? It is still true, right?
It's still true because 68 didn't find a match.
Yes. So what I'll try to do then, I'm taking the second card. So what is the second card in this data set? Oops. We have 62. So what I need to do, I have to check for, first I have to store this 62 and then I have to check for its duplicate. Okay, how many 62s are here? It's 57, 42, and 63, 64, 65. Yeah, here is a 62.
Yes, ma'am.
Card number 17 contains a 62. So what will happen in this case? Flag becomes
False.
Yes. If flag is false, within this while loop we are not considering, right? So only if it is equal, we have to move to the table 2.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, so when do we increment count when flag is true or false? Like which?
Okay, if of condition is given. So if of true means you will follow the condition, or if of false, you'll follow the condition.
Yes, ma'am, that's my doubt. I don't know which one.
Okay, let's say I'm giving a condition 1 and condition 2. And I'm giving an and symbol. Now tell me, if both the conditions are true, you'll enter into the if block, or if any of the condition is false, you'll enter into the block.
Ma'am, according to what I understand, both have to be true.
Yes. So final answer has to be true. Then only the if condition will work, right? If block will work.
Okay, so flag has to be true for
True.
count.
Yes. So after this, I have to check for the condition or it's a Boolean value. Anyway, when you are checking a condition also, it will return a Boolean value as true or false.
Okay.
So after checking that, if the value is true, I have to count. And you can see one more thing also. We are moving it to the card 2, which means initially the file 2 contains 68. Now this 62, duplicate 62 is also moved. Yes?
Ma'am, 68 will be moved to table 3, because there's an else.
See here. We have initially moved it to table 2. Then we have moved it to table 3 also.
Okay.
All the values will be pushed to table 2 first. Then based on this condition, the next upcoming duplicate elements will also be pushed or not. It's based on that.
Okay. Okay.
So in this case, 68 is not pushed to table 3. Why so?
Because it has a duplicate, so it will go to table 2.
Yes. So it's like 68 is taken. So after this, 62 push to table 3. 57 push to table 3. All these values are pushed to table 3 actually. So after that, what we are trying to do here? From table 3 push to table 1. So again it came, all these values came back to table 1. Now we have picked up this 62. Now this duplicate 62 is pushed to the pile 3.
Yes, ma'am.
Sorry, pile 2. But this is pushed, the remaining all elements are pushed to pile 3. Again, all the pile 3 values are pushed to pile 1, like that. If it is in pile 2, it's considered as a duplicate value.
Yes, ma'am.
So what can be the answer then? So we are trying to find the duplicate values and we are trying to push it into the table 2. So the question is, what will the count represent? So what is the count value actually? If it is of a distinct value, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So it's a number of students with the distinct max mark.
Okay, ma'am, it's not pairs.
Huh.
Okay.
It has to be a particular student's mark. We are checking it. Is your doubt is clarified now?
Ma'am, so we're checking whether this particular student
max mark was scored by any other person. If yes, we are not taking it into count. Did we count 62? No, because it has a duplicate value.
Okay, so that's why it is false. We don't count the ones that are false.
Yes. If the value contains a duplicate element, we are not counting it. Only if it is a unique element, we are counting it. That's what we did, right? When I'm taking the just 2 elements.
Okay, understood.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, ma'am. Then my second doubt is question 12.
Question 12. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. 1 minute. Could you go down to the options? Could you explain to me why the difference between option 1 and 2? I understood the other 2 options, but I didn't understand the first 2 options. Why? I think the second one is correct, but the first one is wrong. I'm not sure. I'll just double check.
Okay. So what is the given question actually? We have to take A and B. Okay, at the end of the execution, count captures the number of pairs of words with the same letter count or same parts of speech, but not both. So either one option has to be true, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So I have to check for the letter count or the parts of speech. If any, so in this A condition, how you are saying A is correct?
No, I'm not sure which
Not.
one of the two is correct.
Okay, I'll tell you. Let's say I have two words with the word D. Okay, so D contains the letter S. What is the letter count of this? 3.
3.
Again, I'm taking the same word as D. Okay, because
Yes, ma'am.
it can be a possibility, right? We are reading it from, and then we are, okay, it's a loop inside a loop. There can be a one more occurrence of the D also. Okay, now what is its letter count?
3.
What's its parts of speech?
The
Article.
article.
This is also an article. This is also an article.
Yes,
So in
ma'am.
this case, is this condition is true?
Yes.
Is this condition is true?
Yes.
True or, which means any one case is true also, it will give me the true value.
Yes, ma'am.
And in this case, here again it's true, and again this is also a true one. So true and true
Yes, ma'am.
again, because and condition both has to be true. But
Yes.
what is asked in the question?
Same letter count, but they can have same part of speech.
But not the both. But in this case, I'm considering both, right? Okay, but anyway, I'll get the count as 0 because A minus B. A is also incremented by 1, B is also incremented by 1. So here I'll get the value as 0, but we have to consider the other case also. Let's take okay. Now let's take this as an example. We are taking it.
Yes.
So actually what is given in this pseudocode? We have to take the first element, we have to move it to table 2, and we have to take all the other elements from the table 1, which means I have to check the remaining elements. Now, was. What is the word count of it?
2.
What is the word count of was?
3.
3. So, then we have to check for the parts of speech. Whether both the parts of speech are same?
No.
Not equal, right? So, now coming to this condition check, whether 2 and 3 are equal? No.
No.
Parts of speech is also not equal. So both the conditions are false. Here also it's false, which means A doesn't get incremented. So here A minus B is 0. Then I have to check with this. Yeah, this is done. Now still the count value is 0. Now I have to take the same it, but I have to move ahead with the next value Monday. Count is also not same, and this is also like parts of speech is also not same. Then what we have to do? We have to go ahead with the next element. 2 and 7, no. 2 and 3, 2 and 4, yeah, here comes 2 and 2.
Yes, ma'am.
Whether the parts of speech are same?
No.
Huh. Parts of speech is not same, but the letter count is same. So in and or condition, I'll get the true, right? So A
Yes.
becomes 1. But in case of and condition, B becomes 0. Because there one condition is true, parts of speech is not. So now the count is incremented by 1. Is it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now I have this word. Already A is 1 and B is 0. And I'm taking the next word as he. What is the letter count?
2.
2. And what is the parts of speech? Is it same?
Yes.
So in OR condition, A also incremented by 1 and B also incremented by 1. Is it?
Yes.
Okay. So what is given according to that? So is A and B is reinitialized then and there. Okay, now A and B. So what is the value I'll get? I'll get it as 0.
Yes, ma'am.
After
Ma'am, so
this,
this is why that first option works.
Yes.
Okay.
So similarly, you can just check with the other options also how it is working. This is just for the sample purpose. I'm just taking these values. Okay. So the similar has to be done with 3 also. The letter count has to be 3, but the parts of speech should not be a verb and all. Okay.
Ma'am, could you show me why the second option doesn't work?
Yeah, sure. So what is the second option?
It says X letter count is equal to Y letter count, and X part of speech is equal to Y part of speech. So we increment A, and then to increment
It's a
B.
ulta of this, which means
Yes,
instead
ma'am.
of A becoming 1, A becomes as 0 and B becomes as 1. What is A minus B?
Or it will return a negative value.
Yeah. So what if it returns a negative value, what the count value will become? 0
It will
minus 1?
decrease, yes. So it will not work. Okay.
So that's why, though it's the same, the value we are initializing is different.
Okay, okay. So if the second option is said instead return B minus A, it would work.
But we have to check for all the cases, right? We have to check whether it is working for all the cases. And you can check for this option C. So what is given here? If A is true, B is true, what is given here? Let's say
If
letter count is same, but the part of speech is also same. So what will happen here? Not of false. So not of true, which becomes?
not of true becomes false.
Yes. So true and false become
This it
false.
satisfies, yeah.
Or not of. So it has to be like false again, right? Because here not of true is false. False and true, again I'll get it as false. So if the letter count and the parts of speech are same, I'm getting as false. If any one is true, let's say letter count is true. So what will happen in this case? True, false. Not of false is
True.
and here not of true is
False.
and this is already a false one. Yes. So here it becomes true. So true and true, we'll get it as true. False and false, we'll get it as false. Now, true or false, which is the value? We'll get true as the answer, right?
Yes.
You know OR table and AND table?
Yes, ma'am.
So if it is one is true, in OR table, we'll get it as true. So this condition works. So this can also be a right answer.
Okay.
Here also the same thing is used, but AND OR is used in a different way. So you can check with that also. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Then I had a question, the 13th question.
30.
Yes.
I
Okay. Didn't understand why the fifth option is wrong.
Okay, so the question is, we are executing using the library dataset. Assume that the table 1 contains all books authorized by Narayan only. Assume also that the year, that is field of each book, is distinct in the table. Okay, so we have to check for the year and then the sequence number, which is nothing but the ID. And we have to check whether the sequence sequence number is equal to the B. So if the value of the current year is less than 2023 in the sense of I'm storing A and B as year and sequence number, and it has to be a distinct one, right? Okay. And here they are trying to move the elements, and if the sequence is equal to the B value, they are moving it to table 3 or else to table 4.
Ma'am, table 2 will of course be empty because of the while loop. We have to. Okay.
No. Yeah, we are reading all the elements from the table 2 and we are reading it from table 2 to table 3 and 4. So, of course, table 2 will be empty. And table 3 will have one record corresponding to the most recently published book by.
No, ma'am, it will be the oldest.
No,
because-
it's not.
Yeah, because if the sequence year is, let's say I'm taking 2023, then it can be of some other year also, 2024 also, like that. In that
Yes.
case, this will not.
So it will be correspond to the oldest published.
Table 3. So here we are initializing the B value to the sequence number based on which we are checking, and we are moving it to table 3 and 4. So which is the last book which we have visited, that will become the B value, right?
The oldest, no, because we are replacing A with the minimum, the lowest year every time.
Okay, the years are arranged in 2002 to 1943, which means 1943 will be the value, which means row number 29 is fixed. Because that is how we are moving, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So the last index value will be the sequence number. So whatever the values in the last sequence.
Ma'am, so they're saying that in table 3, because according to the pseudocode, they say move K to table 3 if K sequence number is equal to B. And B is the sequence number of the oldest book that was published by this author.
Yeah, of course, it will not be most recent one, right?
Yes,
Because
ma'am.
table 2 contains the value which is of the last oldest book.
Yes, ma'am.
And will we keep moving all the elements to the table 4? We'll have.
So table 4, so table 4 should have all the books will be moved there, but won't it also contain the most recently published book as well for table 4?
In table 2, first we are taking 29. So 29 will be moved to here. And all the values will be moved to table 4, which means 28 to 0.
Yes, ma'am. So why is option 5 wrong then?
Okay, I'll check this one. Yeah, okay, I'll check with this one why it is wrong. Or, okay, do you have a solution for this with you?
No, ma'am, they don't provide a solution.
Okay. So this is a. Okay. Okay, I'll check with this and then I'll help you with this. Is that fine?
Okay. Okay. Then I just have two more doubts.
Yes, please.
Question 14.
14. Okay.
So I understood the question and I got 2 out of the 3. I understood the first option
Hmm?
and the first and fourth are the answers. But ma'am, why isn't the second option the answer? Why is that wrong?
Okay, just let me read the question first.
Sure.
So what is given here is number of students who have got more than the subject-wise average mark in at least one subject, right?
Yes, ma'am.
What does mean by at least? Minimum.
At least, yeah.
Minimum one subject they have to score, and it has to be a female student. Okay, so the first condition will check either or condition, right? Either in maths or in physics or in chemistry. If the person has scored in any one of the subject, count gets incremented, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Check here. What is given?
So, ma'am, if we do not, it won't.
The thing
The
is,
and will remain the same, even if not is.
wait. Let's say the person has scored a max mark is higher. The condition is true.
Yes, ma'am.
False. False. So I'll get it as not of false. What is not of false? True.
True.
This is one case. Imagine that the other case is false, false, and false.
Ma'am,
Now,
here they're saying mathematics is less than the average in the second option. In the question, it says it should be above M, above average. That's why I'm confused about this. The second
okay,
one.
which means the person should score. Here, only one subject has to be greater, right? Here, they are checking all the subject he has scored lesser, which means what is the possibility he has to score greater than that? Let's
Ma'am,
say.
so it's wrong because it's less. It's because of the and.
Wait. Let's take some example as 62, 48, and 12. Let's say the average mark is 52, 52, and 52. Okay, let me not give 12 here. Let me give it as 58 something here. Right?
Yes, ma'am.
So what is the max mark here?
62.
Current max mark is 62. Is it less than 52?
No.
So the condition becomes false. And here I have to check with the physics mark. If physics is 48. Is it less than the 52?
Yes.
Yes, but here I'm getting as true. And
Yes,
here
ma'am.
chemistry mark is 58. Is it less than the 52?
No.
Condition
So
failed.
false.
Which means here I'm getting as
False.
false. So, but he has scored more than average in two subjects, right?
Yes.
Okay. So now what we are getting is not false and true and false. I'm getting as false. Not of false is
True.
right.
So that's why we increment count because.
So which means he has scored in minimum one. Imagine that he has scored in this also. All the three.
Oh,
Imagine he has scored here as 83. Now,
okay, it's backwards. That's why.
not of false is I'll get it as true. False and false and false. Not of false, I'll get it as true.
Okay, ma'am.
And so by this way, you can just check with the taking some various examples and then you can just check it out.
Okay. Got it. Thank you. Okay, ma'am. My last doubt. Question 17.
17.
It's related to the previous question. So if you need to read that also, if you need context.
I didn't get you.
This question 17 is related to question 16.
Oh.
If you
Okay, what is given here? Use the procedure, do something in the previous question. What will count represent at the end of the execution? Assume that every player has won at least 2 medals and only 1 medal in a year.
Yes.
Okay.
And where can I get these practice questions?
Actually, she has shared in the chat box. You can just check it out.
Okay.
Or else, could you please share it to everyone, dear?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, is it an external website or is it the website from the IITM?
I think this is an external website. I'll check.
I found it on one of the WhatsApp groups.
Okay, it's an external website.
Okay, so moving to this one, and okay, this is the parent question then. So do something contains z dot year is greater than a, then b is equal to a, and a is equal to z dot year.
Ma'am, so in the 16th question, A represents the most recent year and B represents the year where the player won their second latest medal. So the answer will be for the 16th one, it was C.
Mm.
So then using that same logic in the next one, but I didn't understand because the code says something about the difference being greater than max, the difference between being equal to max. That I didn't understand. What does that mean?
Okay, I'll check. Okay, they are finding the difference. The difference is added to the count. Let's say if the difference is equal, which means what is did here is we are just finding the. Okay, so z dot here is greater than a means. Okay, so here we are finding the latest and second latest medal won by the player, right?
Yes, ma'am. That I understood. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So let's say A what the A stores is latest, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Let me give it as latest. And B gives the second latest. Now moving to this, we have to find the difference, which means the same thing, the difference between the A and B, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Which means let's say the first time they have got in 2023, latest year, second latest is 2018, let's say. So what is the difference we are getting here? 2 plus 3, 5. 5, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So then I have to check whether that is equal to the maximum. What is the maximum mark initialized in starting?
0.
Okay. So now is 5 is greater than 0?
Yes, ma'am.
Huh. So what we have to do? Max is equal to 5. Count is changed to 1. Now I have to find how many players have got the same year of difference, which has to be the maximum, right?
Yes, because max is 5. Okay.
So I have to find the maximum number of players who has, I mean, like maximum as a year gap between the first and the latest medal.
Okay, ma'am. I still don't understand. How do you know it's maximum and not minimum?
Okay. So if I want to find the maximum, the value is initialized with the lowest value.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
Okay. So with the lowest value, I'll check with 5 initially. 5 is greater than the M. Next, I'm getting 95. Now this 5 M becomes 5. Now checking
Yes,
with
ma'am.
5. Which is the maximum?
95. Yes, ma'am. Okay.
So,
So, ma'am,
if I want to find the maximum, the lowest value is stored. If the M value is stored with 1999, and I'm comparing. So, if I got the maximum mark, then we are going to find the minimum. If the value is initialized with the maximum value, which means we are trying to find the minimum, because there will give it as 1999 is less than the current value.
Yeah,
Is it so? Let's say the current value is 20. Is it less
oh,
than?
ma'am, because the code is saying max will become difference if difference is greater than the previous. Okay.
Actually, what we are trying to do is, let's say the initially the person has got 5 as the difference. So we are considering that as the maximum. And how many players have got? 5 as the maximum now.
Mm.
Let's say we have got 20 people. After that, I'm finding the maximum. So in that case, let's say the maximum is 12. 12 is the maximum. So what we are trying to do, we are reinitializing the count to 1, which means this is the first person. After that, who are all scored, who are all have the age maximum difference is 12, that keeps incrementing using this one.
Oh, okay. So max will keep it'll keep increasing based on
Yes, it's like this count keeps reinitialized, and based on the count, we are incrementing. If not,
Oh,
change the difference and then count for that people.
okay, ma'am. I got it. Thank
You can
you.
see all these comes under the same looping.
Okay. Yes,
Okay?
ma'am. Got it. Yeah,
Yes.
that's all. Thank you.
Yeah. Others, do you have any doubt? Yes, people, do you have any doubt?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Do you have any doubts and activity questions other than this practice assessment?
Ma'am,
Hmm?
3.1, ma'am, question number 5th.
3.1. Question number 5. Okay, your answer is spelled. Fine. Yeah, what is your doubt in this?
I can't understand, ma'am, what is asking.
What is the ID of the card that occupies the maximum number of rows in the table? Okay, so I think, yeah.
And we have to check the
Yeah, we have to check with the shopping bills.
common data set.
Yeah. In that, so here, how many rows will this first card occupy?
7.
7. I think now it's clearly visible to all, right?
Because
Yes,
we
ma'am.
increment to
Okay,
0.
so this is 7. And how many this one?
6.
This is also the 7. How about this? How many rows it will occupy?
2, 3, 4, 6, 7.
14, right?
14 years.
14. Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So the first code occupies 7, second code occupies 7, third code occupies 14. So far the maximum is 14. We have to check with the remaining. What is the fourth card occupies?
Less than 14, so it's not.
Fourth code occupies only 3.
3.
So no need to check with these things, right? Because we already know that it's not a greater one. So far 3 occupies 14. And we need to check with the other values. 5 occupies less than 14.
Yes.
Less than 14. Again, less than 14. All these values are...
Okay, ma'am. Maximum. Yes, ma'am. Maximum.
This also occupies only 11. So 14, not 14, not 14. Again, all these values are not 14. Did you get to
Okay, give it
understand?
maximum, ma'am.
Yes, because
Okay.
that contains the maximum rows. But here only third row contains the maximum, the others are all not.
Okay, ma'am.
Others, do you have any other doubt?
Ma'am, 3.3, 6 and 7.
3.3. Okay, so what is given here after the code has, which means this code they are saying, right? Okay.
Yes, ma'am, my doubt is while loop is under coming in this, ma'am.
While loop is?
The while loop average I, ma'am, is under the while loop. Okay, ma'am. And average F is out of the while loop.
Yeah, yes, these things are initialized outside, but they are used inside, right?
No, no, ma'am. The average F, ma'am. AVJF. Last one, ma'am. Average F, sum by count.
Yeah, that is outside the looping, yes.
Yeah. Then, ma'am, the sixth question says that equal or greater than or equal, smaller than, ma'am.
Mm.
But if
For
while
which?
if inside condition was true, then outside we can't only do outside, ma'am. Sum equals 0 by 0. That's I can't explain, ma'am. Sorry.
So you are saying that every time the sum here changes, right?
Hmm.
But here you are getting the last added sum. Is that
Yes,
the thing you
ma'am.
are trying to say?
Yes, ma'am. Why? Because he can't check this ID.
We can't?
Sorry, ma'am. I can explain के हिंदी, ma'am.
हाँ, yes, please.
हाँ मैम, मैं बोलूँ जैसे अगर वाइल लूप हमने चेक कर दिया, अगर एवरेज आई है तो हमें क्या ये जो एवरेज एफ है वो बाहर हो रहा है, मैम. तो इसकी वजह से तो हम क्या जो अकाउंट और उसको लेना जरूरी है क्या, जो मैम एवरेज आई के बराबर होगा तो.
Actually, I understand your doubt. So you are saying that like this is calculated every now and then, but this is calculated at the end.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Because the thing is, like this is the pseudocode they have given, right? We cannot change the given pseudocode. So what they are asking as the question in the sixth is, after the whole code is executed, which of the following expression concerning the relationship between the variables average I and average F is true? So
Yes.
mostly at the end, which means once or like let's say during the first step.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah, let me take this. Initially the first step, let's say the sum value is 2 and count
Yes,
is 1. So what will be the average I value?
2 by 1.
2. 2 by 1, nothing but 2, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Next time, but so far we haven't come to this step. So still the average F is 0, or like nothing initialized or declared.
Yes, ma'am.
Next time, let's say the sum is added with the present value, which means now the sum becomes 4.
2
What is 4 by 2?
4 by 2, 2.
2. Let's say the next value is 7. Now?
7.
No, 2 plus 4 plus 7, right? Sorry, 2 plus 2 plus 7.
Yes, ma'am. 10, 4 and 7. 11.
Yes, I'll get the sum value is 11 and the count value is 3. So what is 11 divided by 3?
11 divided by, ma'am,
It's 3.
2. Yes, ma'am.
3.6, let's say we are getting as 3. So now still average F is not calculated. So at the end of, let's say this is the end. So what is the average F value now?
And
11 by count is 3, which is nothing but 3 again.
3. Yes,
So after the code has been executed, both the values will be true, right? Equal, right?
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Because at the end of the execution, what is the average I value? That will be the average F also.
Both
But
are equal. Yes, ma'am. Yes.
You understood, right?
Hmm.
So here also they have given the same as the answer.
Yes.
Okay, and
7. Yes, ma'am.
7th question, right?
Hmm.
Okay, we have to plan a three-way classification for frequency and the length. There is now a medium frequency in addition to the high and low. Okay, so medium length is there. Okay, so how many variables do we need to maintain and keep track of the word count for the different combinations? So it's like a combination question, right? Because now we have 3 and 2.
3 2.
which means let's say medium short and medium low frequency, medium frequency short, medium frequency
Long.
long,
Hmm.
and we'll have it like um high frequency short, high frequency low also.
Long
So it's like a different combination. So generally we have to find the combination for 3 and 2. That's it.
combinations.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sir,
I hope you know
about
combination formula, right? You
so
can just use it and you can find it also. That is a better way as well.
for the combination, how 9 it will come, madam, actually. So I am also confused in this sum.
Okay.
So they explained in lecture, they explained the 4 variables. So that is low, high, and what is that? Another
Short and long.
short and long. So
Yes.
so if you introduce medium,
Mm-mm.
then how it will be 9 actually?
Yeah, actually, we have to use a combination formula for that to understand. Let's say, if I'm getting the values as 2 and 3, right?
Mm.
So here,
No, that medium is coming to both area, right? So both area they are telling. So medium frequency and medium length, both end they are telling.
which means we have to take as 3, comma 3.
Yeah. So
So, it's like, if it is of 2, comma 2, we are getting like, okay, we have a medium length also. Sorry, I didn't check that.
yeah.
Okay, okay. So it's like medium length as well as the medium frequency.
Yes.
So we have like
So
medium length also, right? So this
yeah.
is for one medium. Similarly, I have to take it for high frequency short, high frequency long, and high frequency medium. Then low frequency short, low frequency long, low frequency medium. So how many combinations we have got now?
Now 9. Okay.
Yes. So it's like, I hope you know combination formula, right? Like out of 3, we have to choose like NCR equal to, you have to use that combination formula. N factorial by R factorial into N minus R factorial.
Mm-hmm.
Which means we'll get it as 3 into 2 into 1 divided by R is 3 into 2 into 1. And here 3 minus 3 is 0 factorial, which is nothing but 1. Uh, 1 minute. Actually, I'm using it for number of chosen I have given as 1,
It
right?
is like relations, right?
Yeah.
So many relations.
So for
Relations.
M, how many relations I'll get? For H, how many
Yes.
relations? For L, how many relations I'll get? Then I have to club it together to get it as a whole.
Yes. Okay. Okay. Understood.
Yeah. Okay. Others, do you have any other doubt in any activity or practice assessment in week 3? Yes, people, please
No.
do respond. Okay. Then shall we wind up the session then?
Yes, we can.
Yeah. Okay, people.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
We can. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Others, if you have doubts, you can ask me. Otherwise, you can also leave.